Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Split Labs channel. If you're jumping over from my NBA games and looking for some MLB, welcome back. And if you're just here for MLB, happy Monday. Today is Monday, March 30th, 2026. And before we dive into our MLB best bets today, I have to let you know this video is completely powered by Split Labs because we built the exact tool that we wanted to use as sports bettors ourselves. We show you public betting splits, line movement, and market signals across all major sports in one place. So if you want access to everything that you're going to see here in this video today, as I analyze and walk through my best bets for Monday, head over to the link in the description. Promo code YouTube gets you 50% off your first month. Get access to everything that you'll see here and more as we dive into some best bets and player props. Promo code YouTube, 50% off your first month. Link is in the description, splitlabs.net. All right, let's jump into the slate. We've got a relatively early game kicking us off. We got the Twins and the Royals. Let me get you guys into a closer view and let's see what we've got here. Full disclosure, I am recording this video extremely early in the morning, so by the time you guys see it, I'm sure these numbers will be pivoted a little bit. So, definitely head over to the site, make sure that you're looking at the latest numbers and things like that. But right now, the general sense is these are typically the numbers of people that take their betting a little more seriously, or just are more experienced is probably a better way that I could say it. They're trying to catch the earliest numbers and things like that. So if you're looking at this video maybe at noon, maybe at 2 o'clock, and you're trying to kind of go through the board and you're seeing these numbers have significantly shifted, that's why I'm looking at data with people that typically jump on lines really early, but make their bets ahead of time just to kind of get that better number and don't have to line shop as much if not needed. All right, so starting out with Minnesota Twins, we have 68% of bets, 86% of money on Minnesota plus 1.5. One thing to note here is that they were a minus 164 on the run line. It's currently pricing towards the Royals, which honestly I'm not too surprised about, given how many people are jumping on this run line for the Twins. Yeah. I mean, I'm already kind of like not scratching my head per se, but like already thinking about running away from it. One thing to note though is that the Royals opened at a minus 162, currently sitting at a minus 156. So again, similar experience except reverse it. 79% of bets, 89% of money on the Royals money line, moving towards the Twins. So concerning, this is actually a really good spot for the sports books here, because regardless whether it's an upset or the favorite wins, the public is clearly conflicted on this game. It's also the early game, so a lot of people are going to jump into it, just hoping to get some action. I'd say the clearest read on this board is honestly this total, especially because any movement that we see right now, the books are basically sprinting from it because it's so early and these are just the bets that are getting in now. We're seeing 67% of bets and 77% of money on over 9.5. It opened at a minus 9. It's already adjusting half a point. The public's clearly trending on it. I do enjoy that the books are already making that adjustment, even though it's early. Leans me in the favor of, just taking that over. With that being said, guys, I do want to do some player props for you guys. I'm going to leave that for the second half of the video just because, I just want to keep things organized and things like that. So we'll do that. If you're looking for player props specifically, second half, let's just dive through some of our best bets here. But this one in this game, we're going to go over 9.5. All right, moving on. Let's see. Let's look at the Pirates and the Reds here, honestly. We have Pirates going into Cincinnati, 70% of bets, 80% of money on, whoa, look at that line movement, on the Reds minus 1.5. Pirates opened as the favorite, and now they're the underdog, so this is something worth noting. I mean, I am all over the Reds here, to be honest, just looking at this movement. Three points. I mean, tell me why the Reds don't win this. Looking at the money line, 69% of bets, 74% of money. on Cincinnati. They opened at a minus 118, now sitting at a minus 124. So definitely something worth noting for sure. It is trending in the favor of the public. So if you have a Reds ticket already, or you plan to do so, go into it with confidence. The book is clearly agreeing with you. And then we have the over, currently sitting at 8. Still looking at an open line here, 52% of bets, 70% of money on over 8. The line hasn't moved yet. It's still, there's more money coming in on the over, which is something to note. It looks like more serious bettors are leaning towards the over. To be honest, I already have my read on this board here. I'm looking at the Reds money line. No need for me to get greedy and take this minus 1.5. The money line is priced really well right now. So I'm going to jump on that. I'm going to avoid the total. It's still currently really early, still kind of at a pick 'em. The book has not, shown their hand at all here in the line movement. So we're going to avoid that at this moment. The forecast, if you guys can see this at all, let me scroll down a little bit. This is what the weather should be. If you're looking at the total, this is what the weather should be at the time of first pitch. We're seeing a lot of carry when it comes to home run environments and extra base hits. Split Labs projection, just based on the weather and all the factors, is leaning at the 9.4 projected. So, I mean, if you like the over, that's not a terrible play. The weather looks, to be in your favor here in Cincinnati. Let's take a look at some hitters here, right? Why not? And see kind of who might be leaning in our favor here. I'm trying to see if you guys can actually see this. If I do this, if that looks good there. I'm just looking at Cincinnati really quickly. Cincinnati is more leaning towards the center and the left-hand side of the field, which works in our favor. We love that because they're getting the most amount of boost when it comes to carries and base hits and things like that. And when we look at Pittsburgh, a little left, they're kind of in that same ballpark, but just significantly less than what we're seeing for Cincinnati. So I definitely want to lean into the favor of Cincinnati's going to take this and run with it. If you like the over, I think this data here is really working in your favor. Short, give me a lean to the over. I'm not officially going to put that on a Split Labs card just because I really like Cincinnati here. So just gonna throw my hand there and call it a day. All right, let's look at one more game on the slate here and see if we can find a good one. Let me jump out really quickly so you guys can look at this with me really quickly, and let's see what we can find. Phillies is always an interesting one. We're gonna avoid the Rockies and the Blue Jays. Let's maybe get a later day game, something like that. Maybe let's do the Red Sox versus the Astros. That's not a terrible one. Guardians, Dodgers. I feel like I've seen so much of this. See, the Dodgers just played the Diamondbacks, so I think I'm confusing them. But still, oh, this one might be fun. A lot of underdog money on Arizona. Let's look at this one, guys. This looks like a really fun one that we could read into the data. Let me bring you guys closer so we can look at it together. Tigers going into Arizona. Arizona is the underdog. Currently sitting at 69% of bets, 80% of money on Arizona spread, plus 1.5. Tigers opened at plus 162. Now they're at a plus 142, so it's actually trending towards Arizona, which is good to note for anybody taking on that run line. As far as the money line here, it's kind of opened at a pick'em, minus 118. Minus 118, and now they're at a minus 110, so a little concerning there that with 52% of bets, 72% of money, it's trending towards the Tigers, but public-wise, this is kind of a pick'em. We're not going to read too much into that. What we will look at is this over. 74% of bets, 99% of money on the over 9. The books have not reacted to this whatsoever. Again, it's 3:17 in the morning, so something worth noting. Obviously that plays a role into the amount of money that we're seeing here, but guys, the books don't sleep. No adjustment here is a red flag to me. Give me the under 9 on this game, and we're gonna call it there. Just gonna take a look, and yeah, give me the under 9 on this game. That's gonna be my only read there. Going to avoid the Please get money line or spread bet here, just because nothing is sticking out to me. The books in the line movement's a little conflicted at this point, and don't really need to force my hand when I'm seeing a pretty clear read on the board on this under 9. So that'll be my only play on the game here. And now let's jump into some player props. I think what I'm going to start with is I'm going to go back to that Reds game, just because it had a lot of, I think, opportunity for a lot of data that we were seeing based on the first pitch. Let me look at some guys that really, play in favor of this boost zone that we're seeing here. 27%. Who is this? Jose Trevino. Let's see. Keep Brian Hayes. Less likely. Let's see. Tyler Stevenson. He might be a good read. He's got pretty balanced carry support. Let's look at some of the Pittsburgh guys. Brian Reynolds. Pretty evened out, more of a center guy, so he should have a boost as well. I'm gonna try to click like one more guy. O'Neal Cruz, pretty center oriented. We should have known that one looking at the overall one. Let's see, Brandon Lau. Same thing, we're leaning towards the right hand side. All right, well, either way, I think with me projecting this to be an over game just because of the conditions of this, let's take a look at the player props and let's kind of focus on some pitchers for this game and see what we've got here on the data. All right, we've got Braxton Ashford coming in. Let's look at some of the data here. There we go. All right, last 10. Let's do all. And let's see if we have anything for the opponent. This is something worth noting. 2025, played Cincinnati twice, and he actually went over. Just barely. It's currently priced at a minus 145 or minus 146, sorry. So definitely expect it to go over, but the environment is not really working in his favor. So I'd honestly lean under on this. Also, the lineup advantage of the players that he has faced, it's not looking that fantastic. I'm not really, I know the team, has at least last year had a high, pretty like K percentage versus right-handed pitchers, but look at the pitcher matchup. It isn't leaning in the favor here. I know the data says that he's had some pretty good historical history against these teams, but I'm not buying it. Give me the under 4.5 Ks on Braxton Ashford plus 110, especially because I have the Reds lighting it up. With that being said, let's also look at his outs recorded. Looks like he doesn't have an outs recorded here, but that's okay. Let's look at last 20 here. Let's look at versus opponent. This is something worth noting when it comes to Pittsburgh. I'm not upset at that just because we see, actually, am I going opposite on like everything? We saw on the hitter profile that Pittsburgh is leaning more towards the right-hand side of the field, which is getting a boost. Don't get me wrong, but it's getting less of a boost. If all we have to do is go 15.6 outs, I'm not too upset about this. Not upset about it. Look at this average. He's gone over every single time. It is something worth noting. Let's take this filter off really quickly and kind of see maybe why the books are pricing him this way. 55% hit rate in his last 20. All time 74.7% hit rate. Not, I mean, right, like why would the books give us an over 137 plus money on this when he's got a fantastic hit rate? That is concerning to me, I'm not gonna lie. Let me just put this filter back really quickly. That's just because he's hit it every single time. Like, how do I go against this data? But this under is terrifying me, right? It's priced like they just know he's going under. So I'm gonna go against my better judgment and go against these numbers. The books make their line for a reason. He's had a 100% hit rate on hitting this. This was all 2023. So like, should we read too much into that? No. He did it once in 2025, but he's been consistent. Like, how do I go against this? The only thing that I can think of is that run environment, the field, and like the hitter profiles. The weather is really not playing in his favor. And maybe, right, runs are being scored. It's just not looking good. Give me the under -183 on outs allowed by Chase Burns. Not that I hate this bet. I'm just sick to my stomach that we can't get the plus money here. And the data really does align. This pricing just doesn't make any sense to me. So it makes me feel like I'm going to see a whole bunch of runs, home run derby, and that's what's going to happen here. So give me that. And actually, with that being said, I'm going to take this over 8. I'm sorry, guys. The data is looking like it's going to be hits all over the place. Give me the over 8 on this game, and we'll go with that. So 2 pitcher props on this game, and then we added the over 8 along with our Reds money line bet for this matchup. All right, let's look at one more game with some pitcher props. We'll go back to a game that I have already recapped with you and that we actually have bets in instead of jumping across the board. Let's take a look at what we've got here. This is Royals. All right, so you have not been positive for us. Let's take a look at maybe Bobby Witt Jr. 3.5 hits. We're not doing that, Bobby. We know that. Total bases, what are you giving us? -182. You haven't hit it so far this season. All time. When did he play? He just played yesterday. Let's look at his stats on a back-to-back. 20% hit rate versus his opponent. 20%. Still not looking good, Bobby. 3 bases. I mean, he can do it. He can definitely do this. Historically, he hasn't had too much luck here against Woods Richardson. -182. It's not terrible. I'd still take it straight up. He's been close, it looks like, against the Braves. All right, we are home. Let's take a look at you. Jump up to a 40% hit rate at that point. So not terrible, but like there's nothing trending in the favor of him going over to 3 bases. So give me the under 2.5 total bases for Bobby Witt Jr. here, and we'll call it there. Looking at strikeouts, let's look at some pitcher props. See what we've got. We've got this being a tough matchup for Chris, and then Simeon. This is a positive matchup for him. 3.5 Ks, pretty easy line to hit. Concern here is the ranking last year. This team does not strike out often, working in our favor, as we can see, right? They're not striking out often. They're making contact, things like that. So maybe we don't focus on contact, and maybe we focus on outs recorded. I think this feels like tell me there's not a line for him. Are you kidding me right now? There's not a line for him. That just made me so sad. Let's look at hits allowed. And let's see what we've got. No under bet here. Only an over, which I don't love that. All right, I guess they're forcing our hands. 3.5 strikeouts. Do I think he crosses this threshold? Let's see. 67% hit rate. I like this. Did it in 2024. Once did it in 2025, April 7th with 6. I do like this play. It is a favorable matchup. So with the 67% hit rate, I'll take my chances. Give me the over 3.5 Ks on this. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll call it a day there. Currently sitting at a pick'em, but he's got some pretty good historical numbers against them. You know, trends read right. Maybe this next game he goes under, but I like currently where we are. It's a low number. We're not asking for too much. Clearly not that great of a strikeout guy. More so contact outs is how he's taking or extending his innings. But I will I'll take my chances at maybe a fifth inning fifth inning cash or something like that, and we'll go from there. With that being said, guys, those are my best bets for today. As always, if you want access to everything that I showed you in this video today, head over to the link in the description. Promo code YouTube gets you 50% off for your first month at splitlabs.net. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if this video helped you out in any capacity. And as always, drop your best bets and whether you're tailing or fading any of the plays in the comments. I love when you guys do that and interact with the channel. Really brightens my day. With that being said, let's have a fantastic Monday and an even better week, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.